Goatse.
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 Goatse? Is that how you say it?
Goatse.
Goatse.
Goatse. Goatse.cx.
Goatse.
Goatse, an infamous viral site image from 1999 that features an aged man stretching his anus open with both hands.
Oh, fuck, dude. Oh, I forgot.
There he is. Oh, my old friend.
Oh yeah. It's man, it's redder and shinier than I remembered it.
Oh, he's so much older than I remembered.
I didn't realize just how wet his hands are.
I don't remember it being that slimy.
They're so wet. Ew, man.
Oh, nice. Okay, I'm settled in. Fuck, dude.
What is Goatse?
What is Goatse?
I would describe Goatse as art.
I guess I would describe it as a man who is following his bliss.
Goatse. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I just don't get selfies.
At least to my memory, it's like one of the first memes.
In the years before Two Girls, One Cup, Goatse was how a generation lost their innocence.
He was Rick Astley before Rick Astley was Rick Astley. You might call him Rick Astley.
It's bad. It's definitely bad.
Imagine being double jointed, but in the anus.
You know, in a movie where there's like a good guy, he's on the cliff and he's about to fall and he's clinging to the cliff hard as shit and he's like, no, don't save me. That's how hard this guy is opening up his asshole.
It's a man's asshole. I know that, because there are other appendages visible in it.
I didn't even notice his dick, honestly. I was so into his ass, like the eye is so drawn to his ass that I didn't even see his weird, like, thick but small dick, you know what I mean?
He is stretching that thing real wide, real wide.
I think it looks like how a butthole would look like if it was in like an anime. It's just so vivid.
It's really like an Olympic level of athleticism being displayed. Like, if he doesn't have a medal for something, he probably should. Although, he'd probably shove it up his ass.
When did you first see Goatse?
I was most likely in my attic where I did a lot of my computing.
Or was it in my middle school library the first time I saw Goatse?
A library in an elementary school or middle school?
Had to have been like computer class.
It must have been in my family room, the house I grew up in, on the Gateway 2000 that I used.
Parents had a Gateway PC, the old iMacs with the colorful back.
One of those very colorful neon Macs.
Oh, I was on a Toshiba.
It was like a copper orange PC case and it looked like a transformer and it was super lame. Just like an angry robot that was showing me pornography.
I'm assuming I saw it on Rotten.com, RIP, which is also how I felt when I saw it.
So I saw Goatse on MySpace. Actually, someone put it on my wall.
When I first saw Goatse, it was sent to me over AOL Instant Messenger. Like I'm sure it was for many people. I was in 8th grade. It was a boy I had a crush on. Clearly, I knew how to pick him.
Every class had a kid who was like, oh, perfect, I'm gonna show this to everyone I know.
I was hanging out with my gross friend, Jeff.
It would have been Julian.
We just had a guy that would like, he was in charge of all those things. I had a very wholesome reaction to it. It didn't change me, but I was like, goodness.
I think that's when life really began for me. There's like pre-Goatse and then post-Goatse.
Who is the Goatse man?
Goatse guy is probably,
I don't know, some like bouncer of a hip Berlin like nightclub. But honestly, he's probably like a super normal guy.
Yeah, just somebody's dad, a middle manager.
an advertising exec.
He like goes about his day all normal.
Get home, you know, like take off his f***ing TJ Maxx uniform and just like crack open a cold one, crack open a warm pink one.
Something about him makes me think substitute teacher. I've known a lot of them. They often have like a very weird quirk. I had one that was like really into playing the saxophone. I had one that took naps in his car during lunch. I feel like I might have had another one that was really into stretching his asshole open. He could be anyone. He could be us, you know. Maybe that's what's appealing about it.
I bet it's a politician. It's a super kinky politician.
Mike Pence, I think. That's my guess. Mike Pence.
Mike Pence.
Mike Pence.
Goatse may very well be Mike Pence. Like, we don't know.
If it was Mike Pence, then it was for sure a man who took the photo, because he can't work with a woman one-on-one in a professional setting.
The dude who took the photo is like the best friend of all time.
Goatse man was like, hey, remember that time I dropped you off at the airport? Yeah, are you free tomorrow? Maybe around after 2 a.m.?
I mean, I'm assuming it's not like a professional headshot situation. Like, I don't think he hired someone to take his Facebook profile photo of his anus.
At least 2 people know who Goatse is, and they have told no one? I don't believe it. Somebody knows who Goatse is.
I think he's probably keeping it a secret. It's like when you go to work with no underwear on, it's just between you and nobody else.
Only he knows that. And I think there's some power in that.
I mean, how would you ever know that he was in disguise? If he's wearing pants, he's in disguise.
You know, it's really just an unnamed hero. It's the idea of Goatse that's important, not the actual man.
Where do you think the Goatse man is now?
Well, like, probably, like, up to his thighs, or... Oh, you mean his physical location? I don't know.
I think he's renting out his asshole as a small storage unit. I think he's making somewhere in Indiana. People are putting their spare tractors in his ass.
Definitely dead. How much further can you push these limits, the boundaries of the human body? You know, there's only so much negative space.
I bet honestly Goatse is living his best life. You can't not have your life figured out to like rip your asshole apart and then put it up on the internet. That takes confidence.
Do you think there are theories that he's like faked his own death like Tupac?
I would say that Goatse is walking around in public, but based on how his asshole looks, I don't think that he can walk anymore.
You're not gonna stop there. You know what I mean? Like, you were gonna keep chasing that high, you know? Where could you go? I don't know. Where could you go from this?
I want to believe that the Goatse guy stretched his asshole so much that he just climbed inside his own asshole and ascended to another dimension.
The Goatses, the tub girls, the lemon parties. I would like to think that those people all know each other. And maybe they don't like live in the same house, but I'd like to think that they're at least like in a G-chat thread or something like that.
I like to think he took all those big fat internet royalty checks that every meme gets and bought himself a nice comfortable couch with a lot of cushions.
How did Goatse change the internet?
I mean, honestly, after you saw Goatse, it was like, who cares what the fuck else I see?
I think the graph represents his impact on the internet and his impact on his own butt. I think that's just a 45-degree angle.
Goatse has to exist for the good things on the internet to exist. You know how there's like My Little Pony, like Rule 34 pornography, but then there's like bad things also. There's things that people don't want, so.
I feel like in a weird way he made people less homophobic. By opening up his ass, he opened up all our minds and hearts, I think.
I feel like it's made me a stronger person.
Goatse, I want to thank you not just for showing me how wide a butthole can get, but showing a young boy how to maintain his body hair in a clean and orderly manner.
Thank you, Goatse guy, wherever you are.
Thanks, Goatse.
Thank you, Goatse.